Hi everyone, again this is Stefan from BetaBrain, and today is our second episode of the series. I'm super excited to have you here, and today I'm also excited because I actually want to talk about the number one thing that wakes me up in the morning and makes me want to do things, and that is the BetaBrain system or the BetaBrain method. Now, today I'm really excited because it's something I haven't shared with people before. Obviously, in the previous episodes, we talked about my personal story and what led me to make a difference and try to actually work on my health first and then show people how they can do it themselves. So today, hopefully I can give you a massive advantage if you stay until the end to understand how the system that I developed works and how you can use it to utilize it to your advantage. So I hope you're excited. And before we start, I just want to ask you guys one question, and that is, how many times, and I just want you to think about this for 10 seconds, how many times have you tried to do something to improve on your health or your health habits and you have unfortunately failed? You know, things like, that can be things like tried yoga and I wanted to do yoga for 3 months, but actually I gave up after the second week. Or I tried a new diet and it didn't last. Or if the diet did work, eventually I put the weight back on, and so on and so forth. You know, last year, for example, personally, I tried swimming, I put myself a goal, and eventually I achieved that goal, and then the motivation to keep going to swimming sessions actually died off quite quickly. So I just want you to think about this in your lifestyle, in your life. What is it that you've continuously tried to improve on in terms of your health, your mindset, your well-being, but actually never got that end result, that sustainability? I know I certainly struggled with this many times, and many of you who know my story, I have been through some health challenges which taught me a massive sort of degree of how to prioritize my life and what to put in terms of my values on number 1, number 2, and number 3. And the real change for me actually took place when I opened my first business, my first franchise business, and all the health information that I knew and I was giving to clients, how they should stay healthy, actually went out the window in a matter of weeks. It was so quick, and that's when my brain actually started to go to work and to really dig deep into the psychology of health. Not just what is health and how to eat well and how to exercise, we all know that, but actually the really deep reasons why we behave the way we behave when it comes to health and when it comes to well-being. And that's when I came up with the BetaBrain Method. And now listen, this obviously isn't anything new, but it's not like I've reinvented the wheel or anything, but being a chiropractor and understanding how the brain and the body work, understanding how the nervous system has control over your body, and you have control over your nervous system, and having a background in nutrition gives me a little bit of a unique tool to actually use to design these health hacks and hopefully help a lot of people like myself and a lot of people like you guys, not just in getting healthy, but here is the but actually sustaining your health as well. Because for me, I've heard so many times and I've seen so many people, and you guys probably the same. People go on these amazing diets and they lose the weight, but before you know it, they put it back on. This massive, what we call the yo-yo effect. And this is why I want to share what I found works really well for me. And I hope this is okay with you guys. I hope you're ready to get some valuable information and actually put things into practice once and for all. And I've literally spent months and months defining and redefining this method. And this is how it looks. Now, if you're listening, try to envision each step. And if you're watching YouTube, however you guys prefer this, visual for me is always better. But I've developed this BetaBrain methods in 2 subcategories. Each category has 5 different steps, and I call it the 5x5 method. And I've got a new book coming out, and I'm so excited to share with people what I learned and what I've understood of health. Because one thing we know for sure is the human body, and I learned this a long time ago in chiropractic college, the human body does not work as separate body parts. The human body is holistic, and finally I decided to put a system together to represent that in a simple and effective way. So I've got five different steps. Step number one is all about discovery. And you may ask yourself a question, well, discovering what? What is it I'm discovering, Stefan? Well, for me, unless you discover why you want to change doesn't happen, or if it happens, it's not long lasting. Simple, period. There's just no way you can sustain healthy results, whether it's through nutrition, whether it's through exercise, whether it's through waking up every single morning and going for a run. You need to have this mindset shift, and that's what I call it. I call it the mindset shift. And that involves a few different exercises and questionnaires we'll put people through in order for them to actually understand what is it that I'm actually trying to achieve here. Because here is the problem. I have a lot of people that I have seen in the past that have done this, for example, trying to lose weight. Now, I really appreciate when people try to lose weight, but the problem with losing weight, when you say, I want to lose 5 kilograms, or I want to lose 10 kilograms, is actually, once the goal is achieved and you've reached that ideal weight, whatever that might be for you, then what? It's so difficult to sustain because you've achieved your goal. Your brain has got this dopamine hit of the reward center, which says, well, you know what? I look great now. Slowly but surely, those health habits start to go back into your default mode or your reset system. So the brain is very complex and yet very, very basic. Some of the behavior is all about survival and all about reproduction. So unless you have a real system to follow, just putting a goal on something doesn't make it sustainable. But it does make it achievable in the short term. I agree with that. So one of the first things I do is I just ask this simple question. I ask people, why? And they're like, why what? I say, why do you want to do this? And they're like, because I want to lose weight. And I say to them, no, why do you want to do it? And they say, it's because I want to feel less heavy. And I say, okay, why? And then they say something like, I just want to be able to put my jeans on and they feel better. And I'm like, okay, now we're getting somewhere. Well, why do you want to do that? And they say, because I want to feel more confident. And now we're starting to understand, actually, there's so many levels to your needs and wants. So the first thing we have to do with people is to understand their real why. Because when you break it down, it doesn't boil down to that many things. You have reasons for losing weight can actually be, I want to feel more confident so I can be more appreciated, I can be more accepted, that's a big one. Or people just want to be loved again. You know, I want to just be seen again as having a good body or having a six-pack or fitting into my nice sexy dress. So we'll have our different motives, but a lot of people don't realize that it goes much, much deeper. And guess what? Once you hit that level of understanding why you want to do something, the how becomes so much easier. You know, there's such a common saying, when the why is big enough, the how is irrelevant. So that's the step number one. The step number two is actually educating people and mentoring them. Once they understand the real reason as to why they want to get healthy or why they want to build resilience or why they want to experience more energy, and I drill them for so long until they know exactly why, then it's time to educate them. Because quite often the information out there is so conflicting and there's so much information that it becomes confusing, and what we call information overload. People actually read so much stuff and end up doing nothing. Which leads me to my third step, and this is when we make it personal. We have to personalize our programs or our attitudes to getting people healthier, because Mr. Smith compared to Mrs. Smith, even though they might have similar diet, they might have similar lifestyle, how their bodies work might be completely different. So what I'm trying to say here is that everyone has different needs and different requirements in terms of how their DNA works and how their genotype is. But that's a whole nother topic. My fourth step that I really thought about was, well, okay, if someone knows their why and someone is educated and mentored and we've made it really personal for them, what is missing? And the missing link often is actually the double A. And the double A for me is action. So taking massive action once you're ready, once you're motivated enough, And the second A is accountability. You just need accountability, guys. As of next week, I'm really excited to announce that I'll be having a private Facebook group. The group is only for people that have completed my course and my online seminars and have done the program, because they have a really high level of understanding. But I haven't decided yet, so I'll get back to you on that one, but I might allow the first 50 people that want to join to actually join for free, and that's where we'll be sharing recipes with people and health hacks and workout routines and just understanding how your body really works. And accountability just gives you that extra support system for whatever your health goal is. And the final step of the 5x5 formula is actually maintenance. Now, I don't have to explain to you how important maintenance is. And again, having the support team and the accountability really helps with maintenance. One of my favorite clients ever is actually my mum. She's amazing. She's lost almost like 20 kilograms in 12 weeks. And she's literally just done that through eating the right food and doing the right type of training and exercise and physical activity for her. Nothing else changed in her lifestyle. She's so much happier. And we've just completed it, and now we're actually moving into maintenance. And that is just basically making sure that you stop any relapses from bad and healthy habits, or unhealthy habits, should I say. So yeah, I'm super excited to be sharing this with you guys. So I hope you're as excited, and I hope it makes sense. Step number 1 is discover. Step number 2 is educate and mentor. Step number 3 is make it personal. Step number 4 is the double A, which is accountability and action, taking massive action. And step number 5 is maintenance. And I do all this through just combining all sorts of different health hacks, which actually target 5 elements of health. And that 5 is the second part of the 5x5 formula. And these are all proven to be the most holistic areas, if you like. They're the most researched areas to health. So we know that it works. We know that this method is basically, I just did what I've always done in my life, is I went and I studied all the best people and all the scientists and all the experts in the health industry, and they all talk about their topic of areas of expertise. I just put it all together. I made it simple, I made it actionable, I made it practical for people, and this is what we came up with. So the second part of the process is working on those 5 health elements. And those are the things that you're actually familiar with. And that's the kind of stuff when we talk about number 1 is food, number 2 is movement, number 3 is quality sleep, number 4 is stress management, and number 5, and something that quite often people miss, is actually the importance of social connections. This system literally covers every aspect of health, because as many of you know, the human body just is a massive, complex chemical, biological, neurological system that works in synchrony with each other's different systems. So it's not to say that if you eat an amazing diet, you'll be healthy, because you might still not be moving from the sofa, you still might have rubbish sleep, you still might be super stressed, and you can see where I'm going with this. It has to be a holistic approach to health. And I hope that makes sense. I'm so excited to be sharing this with you, because it's the first time I'm really sharing this, and I've spent so long to actually try to develop it. And over the next few episodes, I'll be bringing you health hacks for each individual element. So for food, for nutrition, for supplementation, for how to biohack your body, how to sleep better, and so on and so forth. So I hope you guys are enjoying this. If you are, you've got to follow us. The best way to stay tuned is actually to click on subscribe button on YouTube or on our social media platforms, as well as the podcast, and click on the bell so you get the first episode as soon as it's released, and they'll be coming once a week. And yeah, I'll try to keep them short, precise, but actually very actionable and very practical. And in fact, what I've done for this episode is somewhere in the link below, or somewhere in a podcast link, you will find that I've actually given you one of my most simple and I would argue most effective tools that I've created, and it's completely free. It's for you to download it to use, and I promise you it will save you tons of energy and so much time in researching nutrition papers and reading nutritional books, and probably save you a lot of money as well. I call it the BetaBrain food table. It's divided into 3 different sections or 3 different zones accordingly. So we have the red, the yellow and the green zone. Obviously, foods in the green zone are to be advised to eat as much as you can, avoiding the red zone by all means, because that's going to zap your energy and it's going to affect your immune system and it's going to affect your level of health and wellness. And oh man, so excited to finally share this with you guys. So I hope you're enjoying this. I just want to say thank you for joining us today. If you like this, it would mean the world to me if you give us a subscribe, if you comment. I just want to hear from you, what is your biggest takeaway message from today's episode? What is your biggest aha moment? And yeah, just get involved, because this is how we evolve. We ask questions, we learn from each other. And I think as of today, the podcast should be available on most of the major podcast platforms, which includes Spotify, includes Google Podcasts. It's obviously on our website as well. And I believe we should be live on iTunes very soon too. So there is no excuse to hide away from all this cool information I'm sharing with you. In the next video, I want to talk about a technique which can potentially slow down aging. Yep, that's right. We literally are going to talk about such cool stuff next time. So I hope you enjoy. Have a great day. Be nice to each other. Stay healthy. And remember, you're one health hack away from being your best self. Peace out, guys. See you next time.